Hi, my name's Dean Audette with the Behavior Dogtors, and I consider myself very blessed to be able to pass down this gift that I've been given with the dog psychology. I grew up farming and ranching, and I had many cowboys that were my heroes. To this very day, they're still my heroes. Teach me the intricate details of dog psychology and also a little bit how to deal with horses as well. But today we're going to talk about dogs. So the dog psychology is basically the scientific study of the language and how dogs think, why they think that way, and so forth. So the solid foundation to any successful relationship is effective communication, mutual trust, mutual respect. And when we look at the dogs and why they might be having behaviors that are unwanted to us, or some people call them behavior issues, number one, it's because of that language barrier. Here's what I mean. If you and I decide that we're going to become absolute best friends, but let's pretend the problem is you're from Russia, I'm from China, and the relationship just doesn't go anywhere near its fullest potential for 2 years of us trying. Now, somebody comes along and teaches you to speak my language fluently. Now, all of a sudden, 2, 3 days, our relationship can go somewhere that it hasn't gone in the last couple of years of us trying. Does that make sense? I think so. So now that we, as the dog psychology specialists, are going to educate the humans, because that's really what we are as human educators, we have you now not only speaking the same language as your dog, but more importantly, interpreting properly what's going on for them, all of the whys. So we're literally going to take off your human psychology glasses, give you a pair of Superman dog psychology glasses to see the world through your dog's eyes. Once you understand all of the whys, then it's going to be much easier for you to understand the strategies on how to resolve it. Okay? Then we get into mutual trust and mutual respect. So let's use an example. Perhaps your dog is jumping up on you, dog aggressive, human aggressive. All those are saying, well, number one, we don't trust our dog because there's some liability issues there, some safety issues. But more importantly, the dogs are being very disrespectful to another dog, to another human, or perhaps to us, or all of the above. So let me use an example of that. Jumping up. Jumping up is a very popular behavior with dogs, and it is the interpretation of it is one that has been misinterpreted for many, many generations. I'm in the process of writing a book, and this takes up an entire chapter. So, first of all, when a dog is jumping up on a human, let's look at their mindset now. They are psychologically out of control. It's chaotic, neurotic, out of control. All right. So the overexcitement in human psychology is actually a very positive encounter. That's what tricks us. All right. You and I are good friends, haven't seen each other in a long time. All of a sudden we run into each other. Oh my goodness. Hi. It's so good to see you. And that positive energy, that overexcited energy is a very positive encounter, right? Overexcitement in dog is chaotic, neurotic, out of control. It's a very stressful mindset for the dogs to be in. All right. So, first of all, we've got this chaotic, neurotic, out of control state of mind. Now, let's look at the actual behavior of jumping up. So, imagine you and I walking down the sidewalk, never having met each other before. And as we pass each other on the sidewalk, I spit in your face. How's that going to work out for me? Probably not very good. You'd have every right in the world to deck me because it is such a disrespectful maneuver on my part. So that's what the dogs are doing. They're saying, not only do I disrespect you, but I'm going to tell you that I disrespect you. Okay, like it's like we spit in each other's face. So we take any dog in the world that thinks it's okay to do that out into the wilderness and allow that dog to jump up on an alpha wolf. Well, how do you think the day's going to end for that dog now? Well, unfortunately, it would be last day on earth. So my point is, in their world, it's punishable by death. In our world, many people interpret it as, oh, she loves me. She's just missed me. She's happy to see me. She's excited to see me. And that's that humanization where we in our society have become so comfortable with these dogs in our world that we very easily and subconsciously project our human thoughts, project our human psychology onto them, and we interpret their behavior through our human psychology lens. Okay? So, like I said, part of our job is to remove that human psychology lens, give you a pair of Superman dog psychology glasses to see it through their world. Okay? I want to talk more about that state of mind because this is very, very important. What the traditional dog trainer does, which 99% of the people in this world understand that the various dog trainer type of techniques. Most of them are reactive mechanics and treat training. Okay, and what they do and what we do are at opposite ends of the spectrum. So let me give you an example. First of all, I've never seen a dog give another dog a treat. Have you? It's not dog psychology. It's not part of their language. That is 100% human psychology. But if you don't understand the language, you really are quite desperate to find some sort of a way to motivate them to do what you want or stop them from doing what you don't want. Okay. So, treat training reinforces the state of mind that they're in. And if they've got behavior issues, they're stressed and they're not in a good state of mind at all. So, every time we give them a treat, we're saying, I like this state of mind that you're in. Do it again tomorrow. Actually, be way worse tomorrow. Okay. So, the treat training, as far as behaviors is concerned, it can work in many other areas. But for the behavior training, you end up with a fat dog and more business for me because it generally makes the behaviors way worse and a lot of ticked off pet owners. Okay. So the reactive mechanics that a lot of dog trainers use is when the dog does A, you do B. When the dog does C, you do D. So you're always waiting for the dog to do something first, and then you respond with something else. And it's designed to try to alter the behaviors. I call it reactive mechanics. So here's how we're different. I want to invite you to think about state of mind. Okay. So I'm going to exaggerate for effect here. Okay. I'm going to really, really exaggerate. Let's take a human being who is not in a stable state of mind. Excuse me. Perhaps somebody who thinks doing a mass shooting is a good idea. Clearly, that's a very unstable state of mind. Okay. So let's look at some of those human psychology methods. Do we desensitize the person? Do we take them into a room with a lot of other people and get them used to being around other people? It's never going to be a long-term solution. The person is still going to want to harm them. He just doesn't have his weapon along with him. And then how about the treat training? Well, there's nothing about giving a person that's in an unstable state of mind a treat that is going to help whatsoever. What we really need to do is we need to go back and get that person into a stable state of mind permanently so that they're no longer willing to pull the trigger on the behaviors. Does that make sense? So that's what we're going to do with your dog. And that's why we've had such massive success and such rapid success with over 5,400 dogs in the last 18 years. Let me tell you why. First of all, remember we talked about that communication. You learn the language first. Then we're going to teach you all of the whys, and you're going to have a lot of aha moments through the seminar. Once you learn why my dog does all the things he does, or any dog does all the things that, then the strategies on how to resolve it are going to be clear. And one of the strategies, one of the biggest steps to this, is we're going to teach you how to get your dog into a stable state of mind permanently. Okay. And then what happens is they're no longer willing to pull the trigger on the behaviors. And in the beginning, hopefully it's at least most of the behaviors that they're no longer willing to pull the trigger on. And there might be a few little minor ones left over that you need to do some specific work on. Okay. So I'll give you an example. Um, several months ago, I was teaching a seminar. There was a single mom with two teenage daughters, and in the home they had three large breed dogs that, in the past, were super dog aggressive. She had to hire a general contractor to come in and renovate the home to keep all three dogs separated from each other because they wanted to kill each other. So they had lived like that for a year, year and a half, something like that, and it was quite stressful. I can only imagine. So they did a great job. They came into the course with the attitude of, we're going to 100% buy into what we're learning, and we're going to 100% implement what we're learning. And they came in gung ho with just a super positive attitude. By the end of the weekend, from just us educating the humans, those ladies did such a great job of buying in that they told me by the end of the weekend, they went and walked all three of those dogs together at the same time. That exceeded my expectations. As they told me that, I thought, you did what already? It was just wonderful, and that there was slack on the leash, and the dogs were psychologically calm and under control in all situations. They and me, we didn't trust the dogs 100% at that point, but at least there was enough of a progression that they were able to walk them together, and followed up with them several months after that, and the dogs were then coexisting in the house, and things were much better. And so that was about 9-10 months ago now, and they're going in a much better direction. I hope it's a happily ever after ending. I love happily ever after. Okay, so here's the keys. Number one, you attend one of our seminars, you and everybody in your house, because educating the humans is key to this process. You learn the dog psychology, how to speak it, and how to interpret it. Then you learn all of the whys. Why is my dog doing all the things? Why does he do this in this specific situation? Okay. Then you learn the strategy on how to resolve it by getting your dog into a stable state of mind so that they're no longer willing to pull the trigger. You implement the dog psychology. I'm giving you a quick summary of 12 hours of information. You implement the dog psychology on a regular basis, and things continue to improve. So typically, what we're seeing 70, 80, 90% improvement in 2, 3, 4 days. That's typically what we're seeing. So if you'd like to have that kind of success, join 5,400 other people who say, hey, you know what? This actually works. We're enjoying great success. If you want to join them and have great success with your dog, grab one of the dog psychological profiles, fill it out in detail, and we will go through it and interpret it with you and help you get registered for the next seminar that's coming up.
Coming up, we had lots of people say to us, gee, I'm kind of thinking that I really wanted to do live training with my dog, not the Zoom training. Well, that live training is the old the human psychology dog trainer kind of mentality.
Honestly, the dog never really needs to be with Dean. The training is all for me. I'm the one that needs the training. I'm the one that needs to learn how to understand her behaviors and how to react to them and what to do with them. And I could have taken this training just with Dean over the phone.
So if I told them sitting at home right now, leave your old beliefs behind, and get ready to embrace new beliefs, don't worry about that Zoom training. The value is going to be there. We're going to make sure we deliver massive value. What would you tell them?
I'd say absolutely do it. Totally worth it. Game changing.
So, speaking of the seminars, what I want to really get across is yes, you are having apprehension because how is this person going to have this kind of positive effect on my dog when my dog isn't present? Once again, I just want to reinforce we're not dog trainers. And quite frankly, there's nothing wrong with the dog. The biggest issue is that communication barrier, right? So we want to eliminate that. So, because we're human educators and we are not dog trainers, it doesn't matter if you and I are sitting in a taxi cab, if we're sitting in different cities, if we're in different countries, so long as you and I can communicate effectively, it really doesn't matter. So,
Um, as a skeptic, I wasn't sure, but after 2 days, our dog is way more relaxed. We had problems. We've only had her for 8 weeks as a rescue, and she was pulling a lot, being dog aggressive when on leash, and she is so much more relaxed after 2 days. It's ridiculous the change around, and super enlightening as parents to know how to read our dog now. So yeah, good work.
but now that we've been doing it for several years online, I'm so excited because we're able to reach way more people and have a much more positive effect on so many more dogs. And we know that there are thousands of dogs every year in this country that get put down because the humans don't know how to resolve the behaviors. So, in an ideal world, we would like to put an end to that. So, we hope that number one, you're going to come to the seminar for you, for your family, and to help your dog have a much better quality of life every day.
I took this Zoom meeting course. What was really nice about it is we got to take the course, and it was at our own house. And we got to walk our dogs in our own neighborhood, come back. We were in a familiar setting. It was awesome.
Dog fights, so aggressive that I actually ended up in emergency. I got my arm bitten and I was ragdolled to the ground. And as you can tell in my voice, it made me pretty emotional. She told me about these dog people, and I'm like, yeah, I've been to so many dog people. Like, I don't believe in dog people anymore. Dogs are just crazy, and I'm a terrible dog owner, and I don't know what to do. Anyway, so she said, I guarantee you it will be the best investment of your life. So I was like, okay, I'm going for it, which was super humbling. I basically had to forget everything that I knew about dogs, because what I thought I was doing was complete opposite of what I should be doing with the dogs. And I have to say, it was like the most amazing experience to be able to take my dogs and walk them together, and we also have goats and chickens, and to be able to like incorporate the dogs with all of the other animals. And so I have to say, if anybody is or going to get a dog or has been through what we've gone through, I definitely say to surrender yourself and open yourself up to this experience.
When a dog has unwanted behaviors, they have a level of stress. And the more behaviors there are, the more intense the behaviors are in that dog, the more drastically it's going to affect that dog. Just like you and I, if we're under stress on a regular basis, it's going to result in health issues later on in life. And it's no different with the dogs. And we know what vet bills cost. So you're either going to spend the money with us here today and sign up and invest in you and your family and your dog with the education and the cost of the seminar, or save up, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times more for the health issues and the vet bills later on that are coming. Because I'm 60, I've been doing this my whole life. I can almost guarantee you that those vet bills are coming. I've seen it happen a million times. And then we also know that that stress takes time off of our lifespan. True? With the dogs, we scientifically know now that it's somewhere between 2, 3, 4 years off their lifespan. I'm not good with that. That's why I do what I do. This is my passion. I've dedicated my life to this, and I'm not good with a single day coming off my dog's lifespan, let alone months or years. So that is just a horrible number, and I want to make not only an impact in your life, but also give your dog a much better quality of life for the remaining years, and remove that potential of those health issues and add those years back onto your dog's life. That's my main priority. That's what I live for. Now, this seminar is for people who are really passionate about their dogs, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to help their dogs be healthy and live to their fullest potential. Obviously, removing the unwanted behaviors is going to remove the stress for the dog, but guess what? The side benefit is it's going to remove the stress of the people in the home as well. So, looking forward to working with you. Fill out one of those dog psychological profiles. Let's get your dog scored, and let's get you signed up for the seminar.
What I loved most about the Zoom course was that it was at our own house, and he gave us the opportunity to have breaks in between, and those were breaks that we spent with our dogs. We implemented everything we were learning, and I feel like because I understand her better, she's just become more calm, less anxious, less aggressive, and I'm so happy she's like that. And I'm so grateful that this 3-day course taught me so much of this, because these are things that I'm going to take away with me for the rest of my life.
Within 2 days, I cannot even express to you the amount of improvement that we've seen in Gus.
And the confidence in ourselves as well as dog owners.
I can't say enough good things about what Dean has done for us, for Gus. We're really excited about the opportunity and the future of his life and what he's going to be able to accomplish.
We've been through a few different dog trainers, but then, you know, she's almost 3 now, and she was getting progressively worse in the trails, off leash in particular, with other off leash dogs. And then she got into quite a bad dog fight a little bit ago, and that was a huge, obviously, red flag, and we didn't know what to do. But we'd heard good things about Dean, so we gave him a call. He did a evaluation of Lucy, told us not to worry. She's actually a very sweet, loving dog. She's not aggressive, she's just dominant. So we had to learn what all that stuff meant. And through this weekend, I can't believe all the things, little things that we were doing wrong that are actual monumental as far as her understanding. And even just after a couple of days, I can't believe the difference in her. And the anxiety levels are going down. Like, I finally know I'm going to be able to walk with her back here in the trails with all these other dogs, and she's going to be completely non-reactive. And you'll be amazed at what you get out of it.